Anatomy and physiology of abdomen.
Our main focus. Review the anatomy and physiology of abdomen. 1. Abdominal quadrants. 2. Landmarks, surface anatomy. 3. Abdominal muscles. 4. Abdominal vasculature. 5. Internal organs. Abdomen. The abdomen is a major body cavity extending from the diaphragm to the pelvis. Abdomen, commonly called the belly, is a cylindrical chamber extending from the inferior margin of thorax to the superior margin of thorax to superior margin of pelvis and lower limb. In vertebrates, the abdomen is a large body cavity enclosed by the abdominal muscles, at front and to the sides, and by part of the vertebral column at the back. Abdominal wall enclose a chamber. This chamber have only one large cavity equals peritoneal cavity. Function of abdomen. House to protect major viscera 2. Breathing 3. Changing of intra-abdominal pressure. The word abdomen comes from the Latin word abdadere, to hide. The idea was that whatever was eaten was hidden in the abdomen. Abdominal cavity. Contains stomach, spleen, liver, gallbladder, small intestine, and most of large intestine. The serous membrane of the abdominal cavity is the peritoneum. Abdominal surface region. First method. A midsagittal line, the median line, and a transverse line, the transumbilical line, are passed through the umbilicus. The names of the abdominopelvic quadrants are 1. Right upper quadrant, RUQ, 2. Left upper quadrant, LUQ. 3. Right lower quadrant, RLQ, 4. Left lower quadrant, LLQ. Second method. 2 horizontal and 2 vertical lines, aligned like a tic-tac-toe grid, partition this cavity into 9 abdominopelvic regions. The 4 lines divide the abdominopelvic cavity into a larger middle section and smaller left and right sections. The names of the 9 abdominopelvic regions are 1. Right hypochondriac 2. Epigastric 3. Left hypochondriac 4. Right lumbar 5. Umbilical 6. Left lumbar 7. Right inguinal, iliac, 8. Hypogastric, pubic, 9. Left inguinal, iliac.
Abdomen is divided into for quadrant 1 right upper quadrant, 2 left upper quadrant, 3 right lower quadrant, 4 left lower quadrant. We have 9 region 1 right hypochondriac, 2 epigastric region, 3 left hypochondriac, 4 right lumbar, 5 umbilical region, 6 left lumbar, 7 right iliac, 8 hypogastric region, 9 left iliac.
Abdominal landmarks. Linea alba. Located along the midline. Between the xiphoid process and symphysis pupus, formed by the fusion of aponeuroses of 3 abdominal wall, X, in, tran. Abd, muscle. Linea semilunaris. Lateral margins of rectus abdominis muscle. Can be palpated. Extend from 9th circa C to pubic tubercle. Tendinous intersection. 3 transverse fibrous bands divide the rectus abdominis muscle into distinct segments, 1-1 at level of xiphoid process, 2-1 at level of umbilicus, and 3-1 halfway between these two. They can be palpated as a transverse depressions. Less than insert pictures or drawings of your invention, design, building process greater than you can insert a new slide for these pictures, drawings if you need to. The external oblique is the superficial muscle. Its fascicles extend inferiorly and medially. is the intermediate flat muscle. Its fascicles extend at right angles to those of the external oblique. Is the deep muscle, with most of its fascicles directed transversely around the abdominal wall. Is a long muscle that extends the entire length of the anterior abdominal wall, originating at the pubic crest and pubic symphysis and inserting on the cartilages of ribs 5, 7, and the xiphoid process of the sternum. The anterior surface of the muscle is interrupted by 3 transverse fibrous bands of tissue called abdominal muscles. Serratus anterior. Rectus abdominis muscle. Rectus abdominis muscle, also known as abs, is a paired muscle running vertically on each side of anterior wall of abdomen. These are 2 parallel muscle, separated by midline band of connective tissue called the linea alba. It extend from the pubic symphysis, pubic crest and pubic tubercle inferiorly to the xiphoid process and costal cartilage of ribs 5 to 7 superiorly. The proximal attachment are the pubic crest and pubic symphysis. Function. The main action for rectus abdominis is flexion of the trunk. Internal oblique muscle. The internal oblique muscle is a muscle in abdominal wall that lies below the external oblique muscle and just above the transverse muscle. Function. Firstly, as an accessory muscle of respiration, it acts as an antagonist, opponent, to the diaphragm, helping to reduce the volume of the chest cavity during exhalation. Secondly, its contraction causes ipsilateral rotation and side bending. Transverse abdominal muscles. It is also known as transverse abdominis transversalis muscle and transversus abdominis muscle as a muscle layer of anterior and lateral abdominal wall which is deep to the internal oblique muscle. It is thought by most fitness instructor to be a significant component of core function. The transverse abdominis function is to maintain tone of the abdominal organs. When one side works, it bends and rotates the body to the side. And whenever we employ deep breathing, for sports or what have you, the transverse abdominis muscle gets involved. Throwing up, coughing, defecating. Quadratus lumborum is a muscle of posterior abdominal wall. It is the deepest abdominal muscle and commonly referred to as a back muscle. It is irregular and quadrilateral in shape and broader below than above. Function. The quadratus lumborum assists the diaphragm in inhalation. Overall abdominalmuscle work. Abdominal vasculature. The vasculature is a network of blood vessels connecting the heart with all other organs and tissues in the body. Abdominal vasculature. 3 unpaired branches. Paired branches. Celiac, phrenics. Superior mesenteric artery, suprarenals. Inferior mesenteric artery, renals, gonads. Nerve supply of anterior abdominal wall muscles. The oblique and transversus abdominis muscles are supplied by the lower 6 thoracic nerves and the iliohypogastric and ilioinguinal nerves, L1. The rectus muscle is supplied by the lower 6 thoracic nerves. The pyramidalis is supplied by the 12th thoracic nerve. Dot. Internal organ. Liver. Bile production, controls levels of fats, amino acids, proteins in the blood, immune function, detoxification, metabolizes drugs, blood clotting, store sugars, etc. Gallbladder. Aids in fat digestion and concentrates stores bile produced by the liver. Pancreas. Produces digestive enzymes, secretes insulin, glucagon, somatostatin to control blood sugar levels. Spleen. Stores and produces lymphocytes. Small intestine. Digestion and absorption of nutrients, approximately 21 feet long. Large intestine. Absorption of water, lubrication of contents, neutralization of acids, decomposition by live bacteria, approximately 4.5 to 5 feet long and 2.5 inches in diameter. Stomach is a muscular, hollow organ in the gastrointestinal tract of humans and many other animals, including several invertebrates. The stomach has a dilated structure and functions as a vital digestive organ. Appendix is a finger-like, blind-ended tube connected to the cecum, from which it develops in the embryo. The term vermiform comes from Latin and means worm-shaped. Kidneys are 2 reddish-brown bean-shaped organs found in vertebrates. They are located on the left and right in the retroperitoneal space, and in adult humans are about 12 centimeters, 4 plus half an inch, in length. Adrenal glands, also known as suprarenal glands, are endocrine glands that produce a variety of hormones including adrenaline and the steroids aldosterone and cortisol. 1. 2. They are found above the kidneys. The urinary bladder, or simply bladder, is a hollow muscular organ in humans and other vertebrates that stores urine from the kidneys before disposal by urination. Ovary is an organ found in the female reproductive system that produces an ovum. Summary. The abdomen ultimately serves as a cavity to house vital organs of the digestive, urinary, endocrine, exocrine, circulatory, and parts of the reproductive system. The abdomen contains all the digestive organs, including the stomach, small and large intestines, pancreas, liver, and gallbladder. These organs are held together loosely by connecting tissues, mesentery, that allow them to expand and to slide against each other. The abdomen also contains the kidneys and spleen.
Thank you for watching.